Happy Sunday, everybody. Happy Sunday. Ooh, boy, I have so much to talk about with you guys today. When I say this has been quite the week, it has been quite the week. I am so glad that I'm able to come before you guys today. And I'm going to get into a little bit about what has been happening in my world. Okay. I always talk about um, real life happens. Honey, real life has been happening. Hi, Glenda. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming in. Real life has definitely been happening. Okay. Whew. So, um, I some of you may know, if this is your first time here, welcome, welcome, welcome. For my returning people, thank you. Hello, hello. Hi, Denine. How are
Hello.
you?
I'm
Hi.
good. How are you?
Well, so we are going to just talk a little bit about what has been going on. As you guys notice, my sister is not here today. And I have a lovely guest co-host filling in today. And we're gonna formally introduce her. We're gonna formally introduce her. I started off talking about how my week has been going. Hello, Chill Will Crew, welcome in. Thank you. Hello, Nuff. Thank you for coming in. So I always say real life happens. So real life has definitely been happening. So as you notice, I have a lovely guest co-host with me. Her name is Denine, and
Hi.
we were connected by happenstance. And I am so glad that she is able to join me to discuss the events and our amazing topic for today.
Okay.
So we both live in a small town right outside of Pennsylvania. And our little town got impacted by a tragedy this week. Okay. So for me, I have a lot of mixed feelings about it. Um, it definitely has shook me up a little bit because it was one of those things that we were not expecting, totally shocked about it, very impacted by it. Okay. So as we're navigating through all these events, I'm just thankful and grateful for God's mercy. Okay. Because things could have went way worse than they did. Okay. So um, I'm glad to be able to come before you on the Sunday to be able to talk about it. So, Janine, how did it
Yeah.
feel? Because you are part of this town. How did you feel when the impact happens?
It was very scary for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm I I'm a person who kind of expects the worst all the time, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I deal with a little anxiety, a lot of anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
So when I first heard that there was this fire, because the where I live is close to the fire company, to the firehouse.
Okay.
So we
Okay.
hear the engines ride through here all the time. We're always counting. Oh, it's one engine, it's two engines. But
Mm-hmm.
this was like four and five, and now they've got the rescue bus, and it was scary. It was
Mm-hmm.
scary. So then when we found out that it was SPS, being from the area, I have a lot of background um, information about SPS because I know a lot of people who have worked there or do work there. I'm also a semi-retired hairdresser.
Mm-hmm.
So I've done a lot of clients who worked in SPS, and
Mm-hmm.
not for nothing, my ex-husband worked there. So I
Mm-hmm.
know that there is a huge danger with chemicals.
Mm-hmm.
And to have a fire that size happen
Mm-hmm.
in that facility, it was
Mm-hmm.
it was unnerving because
Mm-hmm.
my next thought was it going to blow up?
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
Charles said he heard. Well, you guys are right at ground zero,
Right.
so
Right.
I'm like, I'm just a couple blocks from you,
Mm-hmm.
and it made a difference, but not a huge difference. I looked out my window. There was black smoke in the sky. Then
Mm-hmm.
it was like it was a foggy day in San Francisco on the Bay Bridge. It was so
Mm-hmm.
foggy out here. I mean, but it was smoke. So
Mm-hmm.
that was very disheartening and disconcerting. And I normally watch my granddaughters some afternoons,
Mm-hmm.
and I certainly didn't want my son to bring her to me on
Mm-hmm.
this day. And
Right.
like it was just very scary because I hate to say this because my partner and I watch a lot of crime TV, and people always say
Mm-hmm.
this doesn't happen in our little neighborhood, but
Exactly.
this is exactly
Exactly.
where things like this happen. But you don't
Exactly.
expect it. You really don't. And it was very scary. It was scary.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yes, yeah. Cause yeah, my husband and I are been talking about it because we felt the initial impact. Like it literally shook our house. And it was at night. So, we're chilling, we're, comfortable, ready for bed soon. And it was like shook our house to the core. And the first reaction like was, what was that? So, of course my husband goes out, he's like, oh my God. Like, and it was like the immediate like rush, like, oh
Mm.
my God, this is happening. Why is it happening?
So
Because we
let me
didn't
ask
know.
you: did you leave or did you stay? Like, I
No,
mean, like you're really at ground zero.
we actually had to evacuate. We actually had to evacuate, and it was crazy because now that things are like starting to like settle just a little teeny weeny bit, we
Mhm.
were able to go back and review like the cameras because it was all caught on camera
Yeah,
from the initial blast, everything. Like we were like, oh my God. So looking back at it, we're like, wow, wow, wow. And you can see the raw reaction of my husband when he's like, that factory's on fire. Like, I mean, it was like so like a real reaction because we were not expecting it.
yeah.
So it was very tough for us to leave our home, not knowing if we were going to
When you
have a
could
home
come
to
back.
come back.
Yeah,
Okay.
first. Yeah.
So I just think about that all the time. I think about all the
What a
time. I was
blessing.
like, oh my God, that feeling when we walked out of our house and I looked around and I was like, Lord, please protect our home. Please protect our home. You know, so the whole time we were away, we were very concerned and worried that we were not going to have a home to come back to. So I'm so glad to be able to talk about it on this Sunday and just, thank God, for his grace and mercy. For his grace and mercy. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Oh, so but we are going to dive into our topic for today. So I'm so glad to have you here. I'm so
Me
glad to have
too.
you here.
I'm glad to be here.
To join me. Okay. So now that we done talked about our week and all the craziness that has
Yeah, 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 yeah.
impacted our lives in such a crazy way, in such a crazy way. I'm glad that we can actually talk about something uplifting. Okay, so for the past month, we have been talking about the impact of African Americans. Okay, in honor of Black History Month.
Okay.
Um, last Sunday, we were discussing the impact of Black artists in theater. So my sister is a part of theater. Okay, she's a part of a production called No Longer Bound. So we actually went behind the scenes of that production, to talk about it, to learn a little bit about its purpose and some of the key players and contributors to this production. So she's still a part of it today. All right.
What's the production,
It's
Tamika?
called We Are Free, No Longer Bound. We Are
Okay.
Free, No Longer Bound. It's a big production. So it actually has a website. You could go on the website, No Longer Bound, and it tells you a whole backstory about it, how they got started, the inspiration behind it, the purpose and the meaning of this production. So yeah, so she's actually a performer in this production.
Oh,
right
nice.
now. Yes,
Where's
yes.
it? Where's it? Where's
So
it
right
being?
now it's in Philadelphia right now. It's happening
Okay.
in Philadelphia. So it's actually should have started in a few minutes ago. It should have
Uh,
started a few minutes ago.
okay.
So so it's tough. Like she's doing her craft and what she's passionate about. And it didn't align well with us doing our sister talk. But
Okay.
fortunate for us, last week our topic was about Black artists in theater, so we were able to be behind the scenes just to
Yes.
she does and got to meet some of the cast and crew, so it's pretty exciting,
Yeah,
pretty
that's
exciting.
cool. That's
Yeah,
cool.
yes.
Okay.
So today we are going to be talking about her story, the contributions of our Black women.
Okay.
Okay, so this is how we're going to close out our Black History Month. We're going to uplift, give some shine to our Black women. Okay, so with that being said, we are going to start with you, Denine. Can you tell us a little bit about you? What do you do? Like, what is your contribution?
So my contribution, I always say that my love language is cooking.
Ooh,
So, and in the physical sense, yes, like I'm a great cook, but
okay,
I also cooking also is an art, and I'm an artist, and I'm a craft enthusiast.
nice.
So because I am semi-retired, I have dedicated my time and my energy more towards the arts as well. So somebody what my contribution would be is that I am um introducing people of my our generation and older of things that they can do with utilize uh, to make art in their own homes, that you don't have to go out and spend so much. And so again, my contribution, what I say, would be producing. I produced for beautiful children who are doing great things in the community, and just are so like um and just having a voice for people who don't really have a voice, to talk about the things that they like. And I have a lot of people always come to me saying, I'm really not that good at, and but I try to shine a light on them and their strengths
Mm,
in making whatever it is that they produce, even when they're cooking, or when they're like we do little I run an arts and crafts class, work with
mm-hmm.
your husband, as and
Yes,
that's
yes.
how we came to know each other. So and these people, they took my class because it was like something to do during the day, but they've grown to have a passion for seeing what they can put together and what they can produce outside of their normal lives. And that's my contribution. and
I,
it
I,
and the
I'm sorry. Go
the
ahead.
no, actually I was done, and then I got back. I did like a shimmy. So the facility where I work, the women, the people, because it's a mixed class, but it's
Mm-hmm.
mostly it's majority African American. And
Mm, mm,
we tend to think that, after we've raised our children, and after, we've done all that, we've worked our jobs and have retired, that there's really nothing left for us to do. So
mm.
I like showing them that they can, create, pick up a hobby, doing things with their hands, because a lot of them are not physically able to lift heavy things, or, but they are able to learn to make little things, and they like that. They appreciate that something in their home came from something they put together. So that's
Nice,
my contribution.
nice, nice. Absolutely love that, love that, love that, love that. And I'm so thankful that we were able to be connected, because I have become very fond of doing crafts. I've
Oh,
been dabbling and
I love
dabbling in
that.
it, and I'm like, oh my God, like I could really get used to this. I could really get used
Yes.
to this. So I can definitely appreciate your contribution and what you do to our community. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. Yeah. So, in light of us, um, having this discussion about her story and the contributions of our Black women. I'm going to start this conversation off by talking about five of our most historical Black women. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the first person I want to talk about, the first amazing African American woman. Okay. In our history, well, aka her story, okay, as none other than Harriet Tubman. Now,
Okay.
everybody knows about Harriet Tubman, okay?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, did you know that she was born in Maryland,
Mm-hmm.
Dorchester, Maryland, in 1822? I'm like, wow, that seems so long ago. So
It
long
does,
ago.
and it doesn't, right?
Right. Yeah, and she actually passed on in Auburn, New York.
Right.
Auburn, New York in 1913. She was 91 when she passed. 91 when she passed. But for our audience that may or may not know who Harriet Tubman is, she has made history. She was an African American abolitionist, and she was a social activist. Okay, after she escaped slavery in 1849, like that time for me seems so long ago. But when you think like fast forward, it's like okay, it don't really seem that long ago, but when you say it out loud, that was a long time ago.
Sure.
Right. But she made like 13 missions to rescue approximately 70 enslaved people, including her family and friends, using a network of anti-slavery activists, right? And using safe houses known collectively as the Underground Railroad, right?
Right.
So I remember growing up as a child thinking the Underground Railroad was like literally like a
Railroad. Yeah, a lot of people.
right. Yeah. But I'm glad as I got older that I've got to learn and get more depth into
Yeah.
actually what that really meant for us. Yeah, so yeah, she was like a true fighter in every sense of the word. As an abolitionist, she was responsible for the escapes of dozens and dozens of enslaved Black families. And she became like the Moses of the people.
Right.
Okay. So her legacy will forever live on. Forever live on. So the next woman I want to highlight, okay, is Sojourner Truth. Sojourner Truth, okay? Yes. So she was born in New York. And it's funny when I'm on like my background on these amazing women, it's like I learn more and more and I feel enlightened and I feel more connected to them,
Yeah.
especially not being too far from
Right.
there. But yeah, she was born in New York. And she was also an American abolitionist and an activist for American civil rights,
Right.
women's rights, of course, and even alcohol temperance. She was born into slavery back in New York, okay? And it's hard for me to fathom that this was going on in New York, right?
Yeah.
Right. Considering like how diverse it is right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she actually escaped with her infant daughter to freedom in 1826. I'm like, wow, that was like so long ago. So long ago.
And when you said that she escaped with her infant daughter, and you think about now, like when you have a child, you have an infant, and you can
Yes.
barely keep them quiet. They're always
Yes.
hungry, and if you're on the move, you have limited resources, limited food,
Mm-hmm.
water, and she
Mm-hmm.
probably was breastfeeding, so she had
Uh-huh.
to keep her nutrients up. So
Mm-hmm.
it's we don't think about just what these women have gone through to make it to freedom.
Absolutely.
And
Ab-
Harriet Tubman made how many trips?
oh my goodness. 13 missions. 13 missions.
Like that's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
I was traveling. We were traveling, taking our kids to Virginia Beach, the first
Okay.
day, and they kept saying, "Are we? When we gonna be there? When we gonna get?" I said, "Listen,
Yes.
Some of your ancestors have walked
Yes. Yes. Yes.
from the South,
Yes.
some all the way to Canada.
Yes.
And here you say Sojourner Truth walked with an infant.
She walked with an infant. Yes, she did. Yes, she did.
I
Yes,
mean,
she did.
I don't think people understand the gravity of that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
These are
Yes.
super women.
These are
These
super
are
women.
everyday, ordinary women that would be me and you, escaping these horrific uh things that were going on, to
Mm-hmm.
something like, to imagine the desperation and to still become these awesome revolutionary women that they became.
Yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely. That's why I am so thankful that I'm able to actually talk about it and share, because a lot of people don't know the contribution, okay?
Absolutely.
And this
Absolutely.
is why we are uplifting these
Yes.
amazing Black women. We're
Yes.
uplifting. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but she literally dedicated her life to fight it against slavery and achieving gender equality and
Oh,
stuff, right?
okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. So she was a huge women's rights activist, and she was known for her powerful speech. Ain't I a woman? She's known for that speech,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So big ups to Sojourner Truth and her contribution.
And big ups to you for making that your platform
Well, thank you.
today.
I
Like,
appreciate you.
that's awesome. They're trying to take all this education out of the schools, so people got to get it somewhere.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I really appreciate you using your platform to put that out there.
Well, thank you. Thank you. And I appreciate you for being my co-host today.
For sure.
Okay. So the next woman we're going to go into that is very historical is Rosa Parks. Rosa Parks. Yes, honey. Yeah, she was born in Tuskegee, Alabama. Okay. She actually transitioned in Detroit, Michigan in 2005. So that's not too long ago, right?
Yeah.
Not too long ago. But she was actually born Rosa Louise Macaulay Parks. Okay. And she was an American activist in the civil rights movement, best known for her pivotal role in the Montgomery bus boycott. So back then, like she literally was considered like the first lady of civil rights,
Right.
right, and the mother of the freedom movement. Okay. Um, so she, really made headlines when she, refused to give up her bus seat to a white man in Montgomery, Alabama. Okay. She pretty much walked alongside like the great civil rights activists and things, and she was like one of the founders of like the Montgomery bus boycott. How that whole thing spearheaded like to not ride the buses. So I know her name and legacy will live on forever as being known as that woman that stood up,
Yes. She was
for our rights.
tired. And for
Yeah.
people who don't understand, if you worked all day, and the woman did the laboring. Okay, I
Yeah.
mean, not to take anything away from our men, because we know they out there and they work hard,
Yeah.
but the women, we not only we go on to our regular jobs and we come home and we take care of the families.
Yeah.
And Rosa was tired.
Yes, she was. Yes, she was.
And when you are this big man, you know, and then half the work I did today, and I
Okay.
got to get up for you.
Okay.
She was fed up to hear. She was like,
Yes.
enough is enough, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
thank you, Rosa.
Right. Right. I can't even blame her. I can't even blame her for that. Listen,
Mm-mm,
can't even
mm-mm.
blame her. I'm
Yeah,
like, big ups to her. Big ups to her. Yeah.
yes, yes.
So another you know, famous historical Black woman, okay, that I want to highlight is Madam C.J. Walker.
Hey.
Hey. Yes, yes.
Yes.
And it's like, wow, it's like her name is so powerful today. And to know that she was like born in 1867,
Right.
like in
Right.
Louisiana, and like she died in 1919.
Right.
But
She
it's
died
like
a
you hear
millionaire. She's a
right,
millionaire.
right. She died in New York,
Yeah.
actually, right?
Her
So
mansion still exists in New York City, New York today. Not the city. I'm sorry, but
right,
yeah. Hmm.
yeah, yep. They said she
She
was
lived
the
next door to the Rockefellers.
yes, she was an American entrepreneur, a philanthropist, and political and social activist. She has been recorded as the first female self-made millionaire in America in the Guinness Book of World Records. Oh yes, yes,
And,
yes,
and well,
yes.
I can really relate to her because hair. That's how she made her money. That's how she became with Madam C.J. Walker. She improved on the different ways to okay, because we know that back then, and even some of us now are. My hair is. I will show you. Look, let me tell you. I still use my old straightening comb. Okay.
Wow.
Yes, boom, boom. This is what I do. Put it on the
No, that's right.
stove, honey. Okay. So
Okay.
yeah.
Right.
I'm
So
not a
that's right.
relaxer. I'm not a relaxer girl. I am a straightening comb, but lady,
That
but
part.
um Madam CJ Walker, she improved on and made her money off of relaxing hair chemical treatments for women, African American women who wanted to emulate our white counterparts. But we've always been um um clowned about our crowns. And
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
so
Mhm.
some of us, and I know as a little girl, I couldn't wait to get a relaxer because I couldn't stand the straightening comb,
Right.
You ain't have the oil and then the oil would drip down onto your skin because the
Right.
heat was hot, right? And you go
Right.
crazy. And I
Right.
hated it. So I couldn't wait to get a relaxer. Then I got a relaxer and my hair fell out. So then I went natural. So
Mhm.
I figured I'd just straighten my hair, and that's what I do. But anyway, Madam CJ Walker, I thank
Mhm.
you, girlfriend,
Yes.
because without her, I might not have been, going into this field. It might not have been the thing for me. I learned a lot of
Right.
tricks of the trade, and that's because I knew it was something a little bit more, thanks to Madam CJ Walker. Yeah,
Yes. Yep. 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 And it, like I said, she became the first Black woman millionaire. Yep. Early,
yes,
early
yes,
1900s. Like
yes,
created like we've been talking about her line of beauty products, right? And she had like the largest African American business in the nation.
in the
In
nation.
the nation. And believe it or not, her products still exist.
Yes.
They go by the Madam C.J. Walker Beauty Culture.
Mhm.
And they're sold at like Sephora and Walmart.
Right.
So yeah, like so her legacy lives on. And I was thinking about what you were saying about how, you wanted to do the relaxers and then, like it does, it's, that chemical would take your hair out and you had the pressing combs. I remember my mom sitting for hours because she literally had to do my hair while it was wet. Because I had so much hair and press it with the hot comb and I
Yes.
made it get the scalp burns, everything. Oh my God. So now fast forward, it's like I don't have time to put heat in my hair. So, honey, lock twisties, baby. Yes.
I'm a ponytail girl myself. I just took the ponytail out for you today, Tamika, because I'm a ponytail girl. I just took
I
it
was
out the
like,
ponytail
and
for you
I never
today.
thought that I would be at this place where I was like, I would want to twist my hair because I was always that one that needed to like have, my hair all fried, dyed, laid to the side.
They just, uh-huh.
Like, as I got older, I'm like, girl, nobody got time for
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
Nobody got time for that.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes. So another person I want to highlight and uplift, okay, from our history, her story, with Shirley Chisholm.
Hey, Shirley Chisholm.
Yes, 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 yeah, yes. And she was also born in New York, Brooklyn, New York,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
In 1924. It's like, it's amazing to me that all these amazing African American women were
Yeah.
born not too far from where we are,
Yeah.
right? But she was born Shirley Anita Chisholm. She was an American politician. Um, in 1968, who became the first Black woman to be elected to the United States Congress. Right. She represented New York's 12th Congressional District, the district center in Bedford, Brooklyn, and she did 7 terms. 7 terms.
7.
7
Wow.
terms. 1969 to 1980.
Wow.
1980. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. Yep. So, not only she was an educator and a civil rights activist, and I think about her because, like, you ever watched the movie Chisholm?
Yes.
Yes, 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 yes. Like that.
She ran for president. What year was that she ran for president? To
Oh wow, I know, right?
1977?
She got elected in 1968 into Congress, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she just passed in 2005.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How
right.
about that?
So,
Mm-hmm.
which is not too long ago. Not too long ago, right? It was still in the
Mm-hmm.
2000s, right?
Yes.
Yes, but that movie was so inspiring to watch her and
Yeah.
how far she got, and started paving the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but those were like my 5 historical Black women. Okay. Now we're
Okay.
gonna go into some Black women who pioneered, some of the pioneers. Okay. Yes. So we're gonna start with my girl, Ms. Josephine Baker. So she was actually born as Ella Josephine Baker, but she like kind of dropped the Ella part of it
Mm-hmm.
and went by Josephine Baker. And she was also an African American civil rights activist,
Yeah.
right? And she was like pretty much behind the scenes. She organized like a lot of organizations for like 5 decades, pretty much in like New York and like in the South. And she worked alongside a lot of like civil rights leaders in the 20th century. And what I learned about her was that she also founded the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, right?
Yeah.
Which was a prominent organization in the 1960s. Because I know she had a love for children. She definitely had a love for
Had a
children.
lot of adopted children.
Yes, yes, and I always think about her like with her Rainbow Tribe.
Yeah.
Just willing to take children in of
And
all
all different
nationals.
backgrounds and
All right,
nationalities. Yeah.
right.
Fun fact, she also was part of the French Resistance because she lived in France for a time to escape the racism in America. So
Mm-hmm.
she
Yeah,
worked in the French Resistance during World War II.
yeah.
Just want to get that out there.
Yes, love that, love that. Yeah. Also,
It
so
took
Chuck
them a
said that she
while
ran
to get a
for
lot
president
of things done.
1972. Shirley Chisholm ran for president.
Yeah.
1970.
Yeah, 72. Yeah. I thought it was 77. I was 5 years off.
Okay. Yeah. So, but they said, yeah, that Baker was like a key figure in the civil rights movement by being involved in the NAACP, even the Montgomery Boys boycott.
Yes.
She's part of that, and a part of the SCLC and the SNCC for more than 50 years, right? And she actually worked alongside the late great Martin Luther King Jr.
Yes.
Big ups to Josephine Baker for her contribution. And I love the fact that she was a French dancer and singer. Okay,
Yes.
That's my true love. Dancing,
I
wanted to be
can't
the
say
same.
nothing, but I can dance with you, girl.
Okay, listen. I'm not a singer either, but honey, put me on the dance floor. It's on and popping. Yes, yes. Okay, now let's go into another Black woman who's pioneered in this American history, Miss Oprah Winfrey herself.
Yes, the big O.
The big O. Yes, 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 yes. So, her full name is Oprah Gail Winfrey, right? And it's ironic that she has a best friend named Gail.
Yeah.
Ironic? Yes, yeah. And of course, she's known as Oprah. Like she don't even hardly do the Winfrey. It's just the big
Right,
O or
right,
Oprah.
right. Imagine that you're so famous that you can just use your first name and
And you
everybody
just-
knows who you are.
Yep, everybody know who you are. Exactly. Yep. But she's known as being an American talk host,
Mhm.
a television producer, an actress, an author, a media proprietor. Like she's been best known for her talk show, the Oprah Winfrey Show, based out of Chicago, right? And it was nationally syndicated for 25 years.
Wow.
25
I didn't
years.
even realize it was that long.
Yes, from 1986 to 2011.
I
That is a
remember coming home from school.
right,
Gotta see Oprah. Gotta see Oprah, right?
right,
In
right,
high
right.
school. Oh
Mhm,
my goodness. Yes.
mhm. Yes, love me some Oprah.
Yes,
Yes,
me too.
yep. They said like she actually began her career competing in beauty pageants
Hmm.
before she went to broadcasting.
How about I
Yeah,
didn't know that? I didn't know
yeah,
that.
yeah. And after she did all the beauty pageant stuff, and she found her love for broadcasting, and that led her to the Oprah Winfrey Show.
Okay.
That's a
Hmm.
fun fact about Oprah.
That is a fun fact. And I swear I know everything about Oprah, right? Not.
It's like it's impossible to name the list of things that she has her hands in, right?
Yeah.
'Cause it's
Right.
so much, so
Right.
much. But yeah. So big ups to Oprah, who is
Yes.
doing great things. Woo,
Go,
woo. Doing
go.
yes, doing great things. So the next person I'm going to talk about is Miss Mae Jemison.
Yes, May. Yes.
Yeah, she is 68 years old now.
Wow.
She is 68 years old. Yes.
Wow.
Yep. And she was born Mae Carol Jemison, and she was an American engineer. For those that don't know,
Right.
right? And a physician and a former NASA astronaut. Hey.
Yes.
Um,
Yes. To the
so
moon.
Yep. She became the first African American woman to travel into space when she arrived as a mission specialist aboard the Space Shuttle Endeavour in 1992.
Yes.
1992. Yep. So she was actually the first Black woman ever admitted into the astronaut training program back in 1987.
Wow.
So that was amazing. So she went from being admitted into the training program, and then 5 years later, she was like the
Right.
first Black woman to actually go into space.
Go into
Isn't
space, huh? That's
yeah,
amazing.
that was amazing and amazing. And she's still around to tell the tale.
And how about her fortitude to be able to do that? Because even that whole world of astronomy was just
Yes.
opened to women,
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Yes.
And then she excelled in 5 years to making it outer space.
Yes. Absolutely. Big ups to her.
So
Thank you
big
so
up to
much.
her.
I see we got a lot of new friends in the building. Thank you for being here. I am TB from TB's Life, and my lovely co-host is Miss Denine. She is filling in for Janae Goddess Life, and we are so happy to have her be a part of this. Yes.
And I'm
Um,
happy to be here.
And if you have just tuned in, we have been talking about her story, the contributions to our Black women in honor of Black History Month. Okay. So, shine to Mae Jemison and her contribution and for paving the way for us. So, another pioneer I want to talk about is Miss Bessie Coleman.
Yes, Bessie.
It's Bessie Coleman. Yes. So I didn't realize that when I was doing my background and research for her, that it was actually a place called Atlanta, Texas. You know how you think about Atlanta, Georgia?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was born in Atlanta, Texas. I was like, who
Oh,
knew?
wow. Yeah, I
Yes.
know about that.
And in 1892, I'm like, wow. It's like, wow, you think about it. Like when I started thinking about the 1800s, it's like, whoo, man,
Yeah.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine.
Yeah.
But she was born as Elizabeth Coleman, and they call her Bessie for short. Okay. And she was a American civil aviator. She was the first African American woman to hold a pilot license. Okay, back in that day, and she was known for being the first Black person to have the international pilot's license, and she earned her license from the Federation Astronaut International in 1921. 1921. Right? It's
Okay.
like that seems so long ago, but she paved the way for
Yes,
our Black
absolutely.
women to be
Our
able to be in
pilot.
aviation, our pilots, be able to get licensed, So
For
big up.
me, I went skydiving.
Yeah. Woo, you're
I,
brave.
I may not have done that otherwise. Thank you, Bessie.
You are a brave soul. You are a brave soul. Yeah, that has never been on my bucket list.
Now, I was
How
like, one of my
that?
number one things I wanted to do, to start checking off things on my bucket list. That was one.
Yeah.
Number
Yeah.
one. I
So
still have
how
a
was
horrible
that?
fear of heights, though. I still have a horrible fear of
Really?
heights.
Really?
Yeah. So,
I'm surprised that you even did that.
yeah. Yeah.
And what was that like? How did that feel doing that?
It was amazing.
I'm
Let me tell you
sure.
something. It was amazing.
Mhm.
Um, I, I don't remember listening to the instructions. They sit you down in a room and they have you watch a film that teaches you, what are you supposed to, gives you all the instructions and what you're supposed to do when you jump out the plane. All that went out of my head when
Yeah.
even though I was, you got to go jump tandem. You can't jump alone. You first, So, but you're supposed to jump out like a flat, and I just jumped, and my legs were hanging, and I said, "What are you doing?" And I had my eyes closed, and
Oh boy.
I said, "Open your eyes, fool! This is amazing. You're never gonna be able to do this again." I opened my eyes, and it was like we were coming through the clouds. It was
Yeah.
it was amazing. I had my legs wrapped around the the instructor had my legs wrapped around his legs.
Oh
But
goodness.
it was amazing. And then when I pulled, because I reached back, he had instructed me to reach back and pull the lever. I reached back and pulled the lever, and the air sucked up into the parachute. But then I knew I was safe because
Okay. Okay.
we just glided down to the ground, and I can't even tell you what that
Mm,
feeling of just gliding through the air like that. It was beautiful. It was amazing. It was amazing.
mm, okay. All
I
right.
feel safer doing that than riding any roller coaster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That sounds like it was an amazing experience. Amazing
Yeah.
experience. Yeah.
That's because Bessie Coleman, y'all.
Right? Yes. Big up to her.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about plenty women that pioneered in our history, which is her story, their contributions. And the next woman I want to uplift and highlight is Miss Ida B. Wells.
Ida B. Wells. Ida B.
Ida B.
Wells.
Wells. Yes, 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 yes. So yeah, she was born in the 1800s to 1862, as a matter of fact, in Mississippi. Okay. Yeah, but she transitioned during the 1931 in Chicago, Illinois. Um, but she was born Ida Bell Wells Barnett, actually. And she was an American investigative journalist, right? She was a sociologist, an educator, and an early leader in the civil rights movement. She was one of the founders of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, which is known for NAACP.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So she was the founder of that, right? So she was a very prominent journalist back in her time, and prominent activist, and she was a researcher in the late 19 and early 20th century. So her whole mission was to like put shine and spotlights on hate crimes. That's why she was an investigative journalist. Yeah, to put the spotlight on hate crimes. Okay, back in that day. Yeah. So yeah, just her contribution alone paved the way for so many African American journalists, African American women as journalists. Just by her contribution. So big ups and shine to Ida B. Wells for her contribution and paving the way,
Yes.
for African
Thank you, Miss
American women.
Ida B.
Yes, honey. Yes. Yes. All right. So next person I want to shine and highlight and uplift is not other than my girl, Miss Kamala Harris.
Kamala.
Miss Kamala.
Oh, I do have on I have on a little pearl for you, Mama. This came out. This is a real pearl I took out of a oyster.
Ooh.
And yes, in the Dominican Republic.
Nice.
Yes. So I'm wearing my pearl for you today, Miss Kamala.
Bad, beautiful, beautiful.
Representing.
That's right. Represent. Yeah. So Miss Kamala is 60 years old, honey. Yeah, she'll be 61 in October. Yes, yeah, and she still is fabulous and fearless.
Yes, she is.
Yep. But her full name is Kamala DeVie Harris. And of course, she was an American politician and an attorney who served as the 49th Vice President of the United States.
Yes.
2021 to 2025. Yes.
Right.
President Joe Biden. Woo, woo. Yes. Yeah. She was the first female U.S. vice president, making her highest ranking female official in U.S. history.
All right.
Woo! Shout out to Kamala. Yeah. So she officially made history as becoming the first woman and the first Black American woman to take post in the White House.
So no matter what, y'all can't take that away.
That from her. You can't take it from her. No. She has officially made history, okay, honey? Yes. This is her story and her contribution, okay?
Yes. So she ain't done.
Yes. Child.
Today, she is not done.
She is not done. Yes. Thank you. Hi, Super Chat. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you for being here. Thank you for being here. Yes. Big ups and shine to our girl Kamala for paving the way, being a pioneer in our American history. Yes. Man, all right. Woo! Like this brings me so much joy to talk about this and bring this to our viewers today.
Absolutely.
So the next person we're going to talk about, another one.
Bring it on. Who is it?
Story. Her contribution, Miss Michelle Obama. Yes. Miss Michelle Obama. So Michelle is 61. She's 61. It's amazing. Can I stamp that part? Amazing. Yes. You better go, girl. Yes.
How you mean it, Obama. Miss Michelle, say it how you mean it, Obama.
Okay. Yes. So she was born Michelle LaVaughn Robinson. And of course, she's Obama now, but she was an American attorney as well and an author, right?
Yeah.
Who served as the First Lady of the United States from 2009 to 2017. Being married to Barack Obama, who was the 44th President of the United States. Okay. And she was raised on the south side of Chicago. Big ups from Michelle coming from the south side of Chicago to being in the White House. All right. So, and she is a graduate of the Princeton University and Harvard Law School. Okay.
Excuse me.
Okay. Yes. So, so because she was the first, she became the first African American woman to become the first lady of the United States. The first African American to become the first lady of
First.
the.
She won't be the last, but she is the first.
But she is the first. She
That's
is
right.
the first. Yes, yes,
Right.
yes, yes. Um, and just even though she's not in the White House and she's not our first lady anymore, um, Michelle Obama continues to be a powerful voice
Sure.
with her podcast and her advocating for poverty awareness, education, nutrition, physical activity. So her work is continuing. Like you just said, her work continues. She is still fighting for us. She is still making her voice well heard in these
Yeah.
streets. Okay.
Unlike
So
unlike me, who is semi-retired, she's still going.
she is still going, honey.
She's
Still
still
going.
pushing
Yeah.
it.
Very powerful voice. Very powerful voice. Yeah. So big ups to our girl
Yeah.
Michelle Obama. Yes, yes, yes. You are down in history, girl.
Michelle.
Are down in history. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. So now we're going to move on to some like inspirational people. Some Black women that paved the way for us women, African American especially. Miss Maya Angelou.
My Angela.
Maya
My
Angelou.
Angela. Yeah.
Yup.
And still I rise.
Still I rise. Yes. Yes. So she was born in 1928. Can you believe that? She was born in 1928
Wow.
in St. Louis, Missouri. Yeah. And she just passed in 2014 in North Carolina. Yeah, Winston-Salem, North Carolina. But everybody know. If you don't know, read up about her, okay? That she was an American memoirist. She was a poet, a civil rights activist.
Yeah.
Um, she published in her lifetime 7 autobiographies.
Wow.
She published 3 books of essays, okay? Several books of poetry, like countless books of poetry. And she is credited for like a list of plays and movies and television shows spanning over 50 years. 50 years. She received like dozens of awards and more than 50 honorary degrees.
Wow.
Honorary degrees. I'm
Wow.
like, wowie, wow, wow,
Yes.
wowie. Mm, mm,
Mm,
mm.
mm, mm.
Yeah, yeah. And she was
She
even
was
a
Oprah
Pulitzer.
Winfrey's mentor.
Okay, yes. And she was a Pulitzer Prize nominated poet too. Yes. Mm-hmm. And her first autobiography was "I Know While the Caged Bird Sings."
That was one of my first reads as a young girl, about 13. Mhm.
Yeah. I love that book. Love it,
Me
love it.
too.
I know while the caged bird sings. Yup. Yeah, and rest her soul. Like she had a very distinct voice as a Black writer.
Yeah.
Yep, and she definitely left her legacy with her large body of work, like including her memoirs and her poems and her essays and her plays. Like nobody will ever forget Miss Angelo.
Yeah.
Miss Angelo, honey. I think about her. I think the last time I actually like seen her on the screen was in like Tyler Perry's movie. You know, like it was. I think that was probably like her last time she actually was.
What movie was that?
Yeah. That was probably about because she passed away in 2014. So I
Right.
want to say maybe 2011, 12. Tyler Perry's movie. I think it was the family reunion.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's
This
exactly what it
family
was.
reunion. I think it was that movie
That's
that
what
she
it
was.
was.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Big ups to Maya Angelou. Maya Angelou. I like the part when she played it Poetic Justice when she was a bit more like
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot she was in that.
a little kid the Poetic Justice. Yep.
Yes.
Yes, Miss Maya. I love it, love it, love it. Yeah. Oh yeah, husband said, "Yep, powerful, very captivating speaker, very captivating." Yep, she
Yes,
had like a very distinct voice. You knew it was Maya. Okay,
yes,
you knew it was
yes.
her.
Like James Earl Jones has
Yeah, yes, yes. She's
and
another one.
Morgan Freeman. These are voices you're never gonna forget.
Never forget. Never forget.
Mm.
So now we're going to move on to Miss Tarana Burke.
All right.
Tarana Burke. Yeah, she is 51, child.
She's younger than me.
Yo, girl, me too.
And I,
Me too. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, so of course she's the American activist from New York City, honey.
New York, New
Um,
York.
New York. Who started the Me Too movement
Hmm.
um
Hmm.
in 2006. I'm like, wow, it's been that long ago?
Yeah,
Wow, yes.
yeah.
In 2006.
Oh,
Wow.
six.
Yes, '06. She started the Me Too movement. Yes, she
Wow.
did. Yes, she did. Um, yeah, it says she began using Me Too
Mm-hmm.
to help other women with similar experiences to stand up
Right,
for themselves, right?
right, right.
Um,
So they
and it
didn't
was
feel isolated. Like
right.
well, it's not just you. It happened to me too. Like you have a sister in the struggle.
Yes, yes, Me Too. And it was also used as a means for like victims of sexual violence to like share their stories,
Yes.
because that's the biggest thing. Like when you're especially a woman, being the victim of like a sexual assault or things,
Mhm.
like you try to like hide it. You don't want to speak up on it. You don't want
You're
to
ashamed. You think it's your
ashamed.
fault.
I think it's your fault. You're protecting the perpetrator and
Right.
things like so. I could really like give shine to her for enlightening us and
Yeah.
try to give us a voice. Give
Yeah.
women a voice and say you don't have to like sit and suffer in silence.
Yeah.
Like speak up because this is something that needs to be brought to light,
Yeah.
right? So that was her whole mission, was to bring
Right.
awareness to sexual assault
Right.
and find ways to bring like healing into the lives of like our Black women and girls, because it seemed like that women of color are the ones that's mostly affected by it and is told
Sure.
to not talk about it, and make you feel like that you've done something wrong, make you feel shame about it,
And
right?
that's part of the slave mentality, how
Mm-hmm.
the master
Mm-hmm.
and the overseer would come into, and if you had a husband, a mate, a partner, some of the other opposite sex would have to leave out so that that man could come in and rape you, like, and
Okay.
you had to sit in silence. You couldn't talk about it. You having these biracial babies, and you raising them in slavery, and their father is living in the big house. Like, it's
Yes.
the craziness. So that that excuse me, that uh people, making the silencing of us goes way back. Because the
Yes.
silencing, that's what it is. It's the silencing of us goes
Mm-hmm.
way back.
Wait,
So now, because of this young woman, she has said no more silence.
no more
Me
silence.
too. It has
Me
happened
too.
to me too.
Yes. Yes.
You too. Yeah.
Yes. 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 So big up to Tarana Burke.
Go to
Thank, thank
Rana.
you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
girlfriend.
Yes. Yes. You are so appreciated and
And
much needed.
brave.
Yes. Hello. Hello. Thank you for coming in. I see we got some new friends in the chat. If you're new here, welcome, welcome. Um, we are talking about her story, the contributions of our Black woman. Okay. And we appreciate you for being here. I have my lovely guest co-host, Denine, who has been gracious to be my co-host today. Yes.
Hello, everyone.
As we bring this topic to you in honor of Black History Month. Okay. Yes. Hello, hello. Thank you for coming in. We appreciate you. Okay. So now we are going to go into Miss Audre Lorde.
Audre Lorde.
Lorde, yes, yes. She was another New York native.
Mhm.
born in Harlem, New York in 1934.
Mhm.
Wow, it's like, whew, like it gives me chills because it's like, wow, like these women, like it's so many like famous black women that
Yeah.
were like born so close, you
Yeah.
know, to
So
where we
where we
are,
are. Yeah.
right? Yes. Yeah. Yeah, she didn't pass on until 1992.
Right.
1992. But for those that don't know, Audre Lorde was an American writer, a professor, a philosopher, intersectional feminist, a poet, and a civil rights activist. Um, as her being a writer and a poet and an activist, she was known for writing pieces that expressed her frustrations with the issues surrounding the civil rights and feminism. Okay.
Mhm.
Um, like her incredible work, was centered around her being like a black lesbian poet. Okay. So she pretty much helped increase America's awareness to like the LGBTQ community. So this is how all this came to light with her, with her putting the shine on community. So yeah, you know, everybody has their beliefs, and her being an activist, and this was her way of bringing light. This is her way of being light for equality to all people. Yep. So that was Miss Audre Lorde. Audre Lorde. So we're gonna go into our next person, Fannie Lou Hamer. Fannie Lou Hamer.
Benny
So
Lou.
Fannie Lou. So for those who don't know Fannie Lou Hamer, she was American voting and women's rights activist. Okay. She was a community organizer and a leader of the civil rights movement. Okay. She was the vice chair of the Freedom Democratic Party, which she represented the 1964 Democratic National Convention. All right. So she was the chair of the Democratic Party. Um, so during her tenure, like she endured being threatened, being beaten, and even shot,
Yeah.
right? To secure the right to vote. Okay. Um, she spent her life advocating for black folks to be able to vote. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, she ended up being the co-founder of the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party, and the National Women's Political Caucus. So big up to Miss Fannie Lou, okay, for paving the way
Yes, Fanny.
for us to be able to vote.
Yes.
Okay. Woo, honey,
Yes.
honey, honey.
They're trying to end
It's
that, honey.
they are trying to end it. They are trying to end it. But but these are people that like paved the way, that paved
Yeah.
the way for us,
They're
And
certainly
and a lot of them don't get their dues and their credit,
right.
the groundwork they do.
It's
It's like
important that we do this. Yeah.
exactly. And it's like everything she endured, she was like, no, y'all can do
Hmm.
whatever y'all want to me.
Right.
But y'all gonna hear me. I'm gonna get my point across.
Right. Right.
Okay.
And they're gonna be
So
talking about me on February 23rd, 2025 on the
mhm.
internet,
Okay.
teaching
I
other
love
people who don't know.
the who don't know. Yes. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we are bringing light and awareness, okay, to our amazing African American women that who
Yeah.
have paved the way for us and have contributed so much
Mm-hmm.
to history, and it's her
Right.
story.
Right.
Yes. So next person we'll go to is Miss Mary McLeod Bethune.
Yes.
Yes, Miss Mary McLeod Bethune.
Mm-hmm.
So she was an American educator and philanthropist, a humanitarian, a womanist, and a civil rights activist as well. a lot of civil rights activists, right? You you know, for beliefs and paving the way. She became one of the most celebrated African American figures of the New Deal era. Most celebrated. Um, so not only was she an educational activist, but she was recognizing the struggle of Black children that was experiencing the education, particularly in segregated South. So her whole mission was to bring light to the Black children that were not being educated, okay, and how they were being segregated. I remember as a child early on, like, although I was pretty much raised down south, I remember before I moved down south, going to her elementary school.
Oh,
Bethune Elementary.
wow.
Yes, yes, yeah. So it brings me joy to be able to talk about her right now. Yeah. So yeah, she was a African American educator and a civil rights leader, best known for founding the Bethune Cookman University in Florida.
Right.
Yes, yes, yes.
Listen,
Big up and shine to her, you
yeah,
know, for leading the way for our Black children to be educated. Okay.
yes.
Woo! Yes. Yeah. A lot of amazing women. A lot of amazing women. All right, and let's talk about Miss Misty Copeland.
Misty Copeland.
Misty Copeland. Yes, honey. Yeah, yeah. Her name is well known up in these streets. Her full name is Misty Danielle Copeland, an American ballet dancer. Okay, for the American Ballet Theater. I remember as a child wanting to be this famous dancer. Like we talk about all the time, like especially me and my sister talk about me wanting to be the next Debbie Allen and have my name in I wasn't big. I wasn't big on the ballet, but honey, I did what it did. But girl, you couldn't tell me I want to go be this famous dancer and be this star. Child.
Same, true. Wait, I was gonna go to the fame school and everything.
Okay, yes, yes. That was my Shiro. That was my Shiro. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
But she was in the American Ballet Theater and one of the three leading classical ballet companies in the United States. So on June 30th in 2015, Copeland became the first African American woman to be promoted to be a principal dancer in the American Ballet Theater in 75-year history. 75-year history. The first. Okay.
Well, think about that. Some of your grandmas are 75 and older.
Yes, yes, yes,
You know?
yes.
So
Yes.
just imagine that in the time that she had been alive in those 75 years, there had never been an African American principal ballet dancer ever.
Ever. Yes, 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 yes. So it's like that is such an accomplishment and achievement, you know, because that has never been heard of before her.
Right.
Before
It's not a history that you can't touch, because if you can reach out and touch your grandma at 75 years old, just imagine that the things that have happened in her time, just in her time, things that haven't happened that are just happening now.
Exactly.
It's tangible history. You can reach it, touch it, you can talk about it.
So after her joining the American Ballet Theater, she joined it at just 13 years old. At 13 years old. Yeah. So she's also a member of the Corps de Ballet. Yeah. I see my husband was saying that it's, you know, they're trying to remove all this history from the history books right now.
Yeah.
They're trying to move it. But these are our stories. This is her story. These are stories that need to be told, you know.
Absolutely.
This is going to be forever a part of history. You know, it's
They
like
want to say, why do you have a Black History Month when a Black history is American history? Well, teach it.
Teach it. Yeah. Why are you trying to take it out?
American history. Don't just.
It's like, why are you trying to take it out? Because you know how impactful it is. You know what contributions we have made, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
So yeah, so uplifting and shine to Misty Copeland for
Yeah.
paving the way. For
Yeah.
paving the way. Yes. Now
Twirl
let's talk
on,
about
Misty. Twirl on, girl.
hello, girl. Woo. Okay, so next one we're gonna talk about is Miss Ruby Bridges.
Ruby Bridges, who's still alive and well today at what,
Sylvia, thank you for
60,
coming in. Thank you
67
for
years
coming in.
old, I think she is.
He is
67.
70 years old. 70 years old.
That's so sad.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, thanks for Sylvia for being here. Oh my goodness. Like, ooh, what could we talk about with Miss Ruby Bridges? Wow. So she was born Ruby Nell Bridges Hall. And she's is still an American civil rights activist, right? She was the first African American child to attend the formerly white only William France Elementary School in Louisiana during the New Orleans school desegregation crisis in November 14th, 1960. Okay?
Can you imagine sending your baby, your little 5-year-old child, for people to spit on and taunt into the school?
Woo, she was 6 years old when this happened. Six.
A baby.
A baby. 6 years old.
People
Oh,
were threatening her.
yes. Yes.
Her life.
Yes. Yes. Can you imagine? I couldn't, child.
No.
Woo, I couldn't. I couldn't.
This great experiment would have to happen with somebody else's baby.
Okay. I know that's right. I know that's right. Yes, yes, yes.
Talk about homeschool.
Okay, okay. That part. That part.
Yeah.
Yes. That was so brave. Yep.
So
They
brave.
said it says she helped the civil rights movement in Louisiana. She was the first child to desegregate the school at 6 years old. Yep. I can only imagine what she endured and had to go through.
My God.
I can only imagine what she had to go through.
Yeah.
But because of her and her bravery, like it really ended the segregation in our school system.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And she is still around to talk about it.
Yeah.
She's still around to talk about it. So big ups to you, Miss Ruby Bridges. You are an amazing queen. I appreciate you and the way you paved the way for the world as we see it today. Thank you, Sylvia. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, yes, yes. We are uplifting our Black women. We are uplifting our Black women. So, next one I want to talk about is Miss Althea Gibson. Miss Althea Gibson. So, she was an American tennis player and a professional golfer, right?
Yeah.
She was one of the first Black athletes to cross the color lines of the international tennis.
Excuse me.
You know, like paving the ways for like our Serenas and our Venuses and stuff, right? Yes, yes.
Our Coco
Yeah.
Jones. No, I mean not Jones. Golf. I say
Mhm.
Coco Jones.
Yeah, paving the way. It said in 1956 she became the first African American to win the Grand Slam event. Grand Slam event, 1956. Big ups to Althea. So in 1957, it says she became the first African American to win the Wimbledon title. The Wimbledon
That's
title.
right.
Yes. Go, 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 girl. Go, girl, go, girl. Yup. So she started playing a child in New York City. It's like New York is like on
The Mecca
the
Center, right? Yes.
map in New York City. And she won her first tennis tournament at 15 years old. 15 years old. Yes, yes. Yep. So she became the first Black player to win in the French Open. Woo! This is some powerful stuff. It's like we have some amazing Black
It is. It is.
They have made a lot of contributions to history. This is her story. This is her story. Now I did notice somebody in the chat earlier was talking about the next person that I'm about to give some shite and line to was Miss Claudette Colvin. Miss Claudette Colvin. Yes, she was an American pioneer in the 1950s civil rights movement, and she was a retired nurse's aide. So on March 2nd, 1955, she was actually arrested at the age of 15 in Montgomery, Alabama, for refusing to give up her seat to a white woman on a crowded, segregated bus.
Yeah,
So
she was the first. She was before Rosa Parks.
she was the first. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
Yep. Yes. Yes. She was the first one at 15 years old to say, I'm not giving up my seat. I'm not giving up my seat. Yep. Yep. She also is one of the pioneers of the civil rights movements in the 1950s. So yeah, before Rosa Parks. Yep, she refused to give up her seat on the bus in Montgomery, Alabama. Right. So she was considered that brave 15-year-old girl that refused to give up her seat. Yeah, you knew this, Sylvia?
She was tired too.
She was tired too. At 15. Yes.
She said, look, listen.
Yeah.
You know, we had to, and still do have to work twice as hard. So we had to work twice as hard now. We had to work 3 times as hard then.
Okay.
So she was tired. No, little girl. You can't sit here today. I'm sitting here.
Listen, like, and to be 15 to be like, you know, like
taking a stand.
Amazing. Took a stand for what she believed in. And it's sad in this day and time that they're trying to take us back there. They're trying to take us back.
Yeah.
You know. But not realizing that so many people had paved the way for us, paved the way that, you know, I can't see us ever going to that place again.
Me either. Okay. Kicking and screaming, I'm telling you.
Kicking and screaming, okay?
I mean, I love to cook. I said that's one of my superpowers, right? I love to cook, but I'm not gonna be nobody's Mamie.
That part.
There'd be a lot of stomach poisonings. The whole family did. Huh? What?
Like that movie The Help.
How many times on this chocolate cake?
Exactly. Yes. Honey. Yes. But yes. Big ups to Miss Claudette Colvin. Miss Claudette for your bravery and your contribution. Okay, now we're gonna go on and talk about Miss Coretta Scott King.
Coretta.
Miss Coretta. Yes.
Behind every great man.
Okay, is a great woman. Woo-hoo! So, Miss Coretta Scott King was an American author, an activist, and a civil rights leader who was the wife of the late great Martin Luther King Jr.
Yeah.
From 1953 until his assassination in 1968. So, as an advocate for African American equality, she was a leader for civil rights movements in the 1960s. So, pretty much after the passing of her husband, she continued to do his work as a civil rights activist, and she was known worldwide for her dedication to human rights. Right. So, like, his legacy lived on. You know, she kept everything going until her passing. Okay. So it's like these are people you cannot ever forget. Right. I could forever appreciate, you know, the contribution. And this is my job to uplift, shine light on these amazing Black women, you know, that have contributed to our history, you know, to our world. Right. So shine and big ups to Coretta Scott King for all the work that you have done and continuing.
Yes.
Uphold your husband's legacy. Uphold your husband's legacy. Yeah. Woo, yes. Yeah. It's so many amazing women in this world. There's so many of them. It's like we'll be here all day talking about, you know, be here all day talking about it. Yeah. So we're gonna go into a couple more, but I'm hoping that everybody has learned a little something from our live. I'm gonna talk about Miss Dorothy Height. Um, Dorothy Height was an African American civil rights and women's rights activist. Okay. She focused on the issues of African American women, including unemployment, illiteracy, and voter awareness. So she was also a huge women's rights activist and bringing awareness to the voters, like for voters' rights. She has been described as the godmother of the women's movement
Okay.
because of her work for gender equality. Okay. The
Mm-hmm.
godmother of women, like, so pretty much her voice was like, women need to be treated fairly and equal too.
Yes.
Okay. Because we
Yes.
have a great contribution. Okay. This is
Yep.
what we talking about. This is what we talking about. Right?
Yes.
Yes. Yep. Dorothy served as the president of the National Council for Negro Women for 40 years.
Wow.
40 years. And she was also awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 1994. Woo! 40 years fighting for the Council of Negro Women.
Right.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Wow. Yeah. So it's like, these things like this is going to forever be in our history. Like, you can't take it away.
Absolutely. No.
You can't take it away. But, you can appreciate people like Dorothy Height and all the other great, amazing women that we talked about.
Our
So,
history is so intertwined.
yeah.
It would be if you were to take us out of history,
Mm-hmm.
there would always be an open-ended question. But how? But why? But
Mm-hmm.
this? And what are
Mm-hmm.
the answers to that? They
Mm-hmm.
have no answers if we're not filling it in. So it
Mm-hmm.
just makes no sense. History is not complete without the past failures and
Mm-hmm.
gains that
Mm-hmm.
society, civilization has made, regardless of who it's coming from. We are intertwined. We
Yes.
are. You cannot have one without the other. You can have
Absolutely.
you can't have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich without the bread.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly. Absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
know, how about that?
Exactly. Exactly. Like some things
So
just go together. Like you can't have one without the other, right?
right,
Yeah.
right. We didn't
Yeah.
just get here and did nothing and then just allow things to just happen to us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. So last person I want to highlight is Katherine Johnson.
Okay.
Katherine Johnson. Yes. Now, she recently just passed away in 2020.
Oh wow.
In 2020. Yes. Yep. Actually, tomorrow will be the anniversary of her death, February 24th,
Wow.
2020. Yes. Yep. So, she was born Creola Catherine Johnson. And she was an American mathematician whose calculation of orbital mechanics as a NASA employee was critical to the success of the first and subsequent U.S. crew spaceflight. Yes. Whew. That was like a whole mouthful. A whole mouthful. It's like
Yeah.
this woman right here.
Really did everything
I'm
right.
like, last but not least, yeah, she was a physicist,
Yes.
a national space scientist, okay? A mathematician, all right? She graduated summa cum laude from the college when she was 18 years old.
Wow.
18, okay?
Mhm.
Okay. Woo! So her groundbreaking calculations guided NASA's first space mission. Whew. Yep. And it's like a lot of people didn't know her before hitting figures like
Yeah.
many people had no clue about her contribution.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Like it's like how did we not know this? It's like how did we not know this? Like these are like stories that need to be told, like they
Right.
trying to like suppress and hide our black excellence,
Right.
especially of our black women. You know,
Yes.
it's
Yes.
like, oh my god, yeah. But I'm so glad that they brought light to this. You know, that we got some kind of like information based on this amazing woman, amazing woman. You know, to be
Mm-hmm.
so smart. Oh my goodness. Woo! That if it wasn't for her, oh my
Yeah.
God, one of three, you know,
Yeah.
actually guided the
Yeah.
first meeting for her calculations. I'm like, isn't
Yeah.
that amazing? Isn't that amazing? Yeah. But this has been such an amazing, uplifting conversation and topic for me to highlight the contribution of our black women. You know, tell a little bit about her story, you know, because a lot of people might not even know the story,
Right.
you know, and I'm glad that we were able to, you know, stop and shine on to these amazing women and their contribution.
Absolutely.
Their con-
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah. So, um, this was our close to our Black History Month topics. So the next Sunday, we're going to be going into a whole realm of new topics, okay? Because it's actually going to be March on the next Sunday that we go live. It has been so great to have this conversation with you, Denine, as being my lovely guest co-host. Sylvia, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate you for
I
being
appreciate
here.
you too. You stay safe
Guys,
down there.
yes, y'all, everybody in this live, y'all need to check out my girl, Miss B, Amazing Sylvia. Oh my goodness, she is so amazing. Her name represents her in every sense of the word. You know, go check out her live. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Check out her channel, connect with her. She is one of my peeps. She's one of my peeps. I'm so glad to know her, you know, and, you know, just be able to say that, you know, how amazing she is, how amazing she is. Yes. Miss B Amazing Sylvia, her name says it all. Yes, 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 yes. Yeah, and again, giving some shine to Miss Denine for being here today,
Thank you
Um,
for having me.
yes. This was just a topic and a story that needed to be told, and I am glad and so grateful and thankful to you to help me tell this story today. Today, um, we do this every Sunday at 3 o'clock Eastern time. I always say you never know what we're gonna talk about. You never know what we're gonna talk about. You know, real life happens, and we go through real life all the time. We were talking earlier in the live about our experience and you know how we've been connected and being in the same town and being impacted by tragedy. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm you know just grateful that we were able to even come together to talk about it. You
Yes.
know,
Yeah.
that we were able to actually talk.
Right.
Um, but that has been our live for today. Our live for today. And if you have not done anything for yourself today, please do something for you. Okay. I truly appreciate you for being here. I know Denine truly appreciate you for being here. It is all love. It is all love. It is all love. You could have been anywhere in these YouTube streets today, and you
Yeah.
were a part of our live. You were a part of our live. Okay. With that being said, I want you to have an amazing rest of your week. And I look forward to seeing you on the next live. All right. But until then, have a great rest of your day. All right.
Peace
And we
out,
will talk
y'all.
to you soon. All right. Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye. See you.
Oh.